to finding an egg without an actual yolk, sometimes people just get terribly unlucky. Stay until the end to see the most unfortunate avocado ever. Don't forget to hit the thumbs up button and subscribe to our channel. Today we're checking out 10 people who absolutely lost the food lottery. Watermelon. Let's start with a simple fruit. Do you love watermelon? We can't blame you. It's juicy, delicious, and a perfect fruit for the summer. It's hard to believe that purchasing a watermelon could go wrong, but this person has the worst luck when it comes to fruit. Depending on where you're from, watermelon can be quite expensive, so imagine spending all that money and carrying home a heavy watermelon only to find this on the inside. It looks like the flesh of this watermelon didn't manage to grow into the side of its shell. Don't know about you, but we're pretty sure we'd lose our minds if this happened to us. Watermelon is made of mostly water, but this watermelon looks like it's on a whole nother level. Speaking of delicious fruit, did you know that the red pigment inside fruit actually has a very high amount of lycopene nutrient, which is responsible for making you stronger and healthier? If you're not stocking up on watermelon yet, now it's time to start. Just make sure you don't end up with this unfortunate watermelon. There's actually no foolproof way of knowing a watermelon is ripe, but you should always tap on them to see if they're hollow. The better the sound, the better the watermelon. So next time you're in a supermarket, give the watermelon a tap or two to find out which one will be the tastiest. We hope you don't end up with a watermelon that looks like this. Bread. And if you thought the unlucky watermelon was bad, wait until you see this unfortunate food staple. Our channel totally loves bread, and we can't imagine not having our morning avocado toast. Almost everyone enjoys eating bread, and if you don't, you're missing out on all the yummy carbohydrates that gives you energy. This bread is delicious, and there's no possible way for you to end up purchasing bread that's completely inedible. Well, that's true, but what would you do if you go into the bakery, buy a freshly made loaf, and it ends up looking like this? The loaf is made of air, and that hole is pretty much occupying half of it. How did this person not see that their bread looks like this in the first place? And how come the store didn't notice the loaf was actually missing more than half of the bread? Speaking of bread, did you know that countries like the UK waste 1 in every 3 slices of bread? About 32% of sold bread goes into the trash. So perhaps this is just an actual representation of how much loaf we'd actually eat. Nevertheless, we can imagine most of us would be pretty upset if this happened to us. We're calling this loaf the air bread. Bread sliced the wrong way. You thought air bread was bad? Well, it is, but this is just kind of funny. Buying already sliced bread is perfect for those who aren't good at cutting bread in different sizes. Guilty as charged, but in this person's case, it looks like the bread cutting machine had an off day and ended up slicing the bread horizontally instead of vertically. This doesn't seem like a bad option. You'd just end up with long toast sandwiches. If you absolutely had to choose, which of these bread mishaps would you pick? The horizontally sliced bread or the half-full bread air loaf? Considering this second bread looks like it's been store-bought, we can imagine there are a few more unfortunate customers that managed to purchase this item. We'd make the most of it and create a 4-layer sandwich, Subway style. Or just cut the slices in half and it'll look like nothing happened. Did you know that a traditional loaf can be made just using 4 ingredients? All you need to make bread is flour, yeast, water, and salt. Next time you're in the supermarket, check out the ingredients on your packaged product and see what else you can find. If you can't pronounce it, it probably doesn't need to be there. No yolk. How do comedians like their eggs? Funny side up. Okay, that was one cheesy yolk. Unless you're a bodybuilder, there's a good chance that eating egg whites only are not the most appealing thing ever. We can't blame you because everyone's in it for that runny egg yolk that you dip your bread in on a Sunday brunch. Well, that is if you actually end up getting yolk in your egg. This unlucky person didn't, and he was just as surprised as we are. But maybe it's a good thing this egg didn't have a yolk. Did you know that there's an ongoing debate over the nutritional value of eggs? They're a fantastic source of protein, but egg whites are considerably healthier than yolks. It's not all that bad though. An egg yolk is one of the only foods out there that's naturally containing vitamin D. Eggs are also really soothing for your voice because of their high amount of vitamin A. But we can't even begin to explain what happened to this poor egg and how it managed to lose its yolk. We do have one question: which came first, the chicken or the egg without the yolk? No cone, ice cream cone. We hope you're ready for this next one because it's quite upsetting. Imagine it being a hot summer day and you want some ice cream. You buy one of those cornetto types in the store and excitedly open the box. You take one out and unwrap it only to find that this ice cream has no actual cone. How could this ever happen? If you lived in a hot climate, your ice cream would melt in no time. Talking about absolutely losing the food lottery. This person probably had the weirdest experience of everyone on our list. Then again, all you need to do in this case is transfer this ice cream into a bowl and voila! It's a perfect option for those who absolutely love ice cream, but hate the cones. The chocolate swirls on this ice cream actually look pretty cool. This mishap is still not as bad as dropping your entire ice cream cone on the floor seconds after buying it. Either way, we feel for this person, and we hope they found this just as amusing as we do. Do you know that a sundae can actually have as much fat and calories as a regular T-bone steak dinner? We can't blame you for eating ice cream though. It's so delicious. Cranberry chocolate. No one likes false advertising, especially when it comes to food. We all like to eat exactly what we're shown in those commercials and on the packages, but sometimes it just doesn't happen. We feel for this person who purchased cranberry chocolate only to find that the bar only comes with 6 cranberries. And from what it looks like, it was the 6 that were on the preview display of the chocolate bar. The Polish company behind this chocolate has actually been slammed online for false advertising, but luckily we didn't manage to find any other similar mishaps with the same brand. What would you do if this happened to you? Would you take the product back to the store and request a refund? Would you post it online to raise awareness? Or just let it go? Nobody should mess with chocolate, and we can imagine why so many people are totally outraged with this photo. However, mistakes like that can happen. This chocolate also doesn't look like it has a lot of hazelnuts. And it's not just chocolate. This also happens with other food. Check out this very unfortunate blueberry waffle that seems to only have a single blueberry. We can't imagine what's worse, messing up someone's chocolate or messing up their breakfast. A can of water? We all know that canned food could actually be a letdown on its own. The food doesn't often come the way it looks on the packaging, and sometimes it just tastes way off. But at least you're not this person's mother. We're not sure what happened here, but it just seems too bizarre to be true. The caption of this picture reads, "My mom opened a can of black beans, but there was only water inside." And it's probably one of the most disappointing things we've ever seen. We can't even begin to explain how this could have happened in the first place. Was the can so old it made the beans evaporate? Or was this the actual can without any beans, just water? Whatever the reason, we're pretty sure you wouldn't be happy if you started making dinner, only to find that the can of beans actually looks like this. Since canned water is actually a thing, could this just be a canned water in disguise? We'll probably never know the real answer. We just feel bad for that mom and hope she had an extra can of black beans as a backup. We can't even imagine the disappointment on her face when she noticed there was absolutely no beans inside this unfortunate can. This tiny lemon. Just look at that cute little lemon. Small things are normally cute, and if you're a fan of eating healthy, you normally do a lot of portion control on your plate. But what can you possibly do with something like this? This internet user started growing a lemon tree, and it seemed to have produced these teeny tiny lemons. Sure, they look cute, but what are we supposed to do with this? We hope their tree managed to produce some decent-sized lemons as well. Having a lemon tree is actually a really good idea. Did you know that lemons have several nutritional vitamins that can help boost your immune system? There are also several ways you can use a lemon to clean your entire house. It's definitely a versatile fruit, and a lemon tree can actually survive indoors if it's getting enough direct sunlight. Either way, this tiny lemon definitely looks cute too. And while this person might have lost the food lottery, they won a ridiculously cute miniature fruit competition. If you're looking to add more lemon to your life, we recommend drinking lemon water. Let the lemon sit in the water for a couple of hours and overnight, and then drink it every morning. Health benefits of this drink include skin improvements and digestion aids. We bet this tiny lemon could still be put to good use. This sub. Most of us probably love sandwiches, and it's our go-to meal at work or on a busy day at home. What do you think Joey Tribbiani would do if he ended up getting a sandwich looking like this? This looks like just a regular sub that actually looks amazing from an aerial point of view. That is, until you bite into it and realize there's hardly any cheese or salami in it. We're not sure where this person got the sandwich from, but we hope they took it back and had a little word, because that's definitely not what a sandwich should look like. Did you know that 50% of American population eats a sandwich every day? We can't blame them. They're easy and quick to make, and they're absolutely delicious. Well, that is if you actually end up getting the ingredients you're supposed to get in a sandwich. We really feel for this person, and they really are one of those people that totally lost the food lottery. We can probably handle a loaf half filled with air or a horizontally sliced piece of bread, but a sandwich looking like this, you can't even imagine how it happened in the first place. While it's still not as bad as the last person on our list, we really do feel for this user. Poor avocado. People have a love-hate relationship with avocados. Over the past few years, the public got absolutely hooked on avocados. From toasts and stuffed avocados to substituting them for sour cream and other ingredients, this fruit has been taking over the world. And yes, it's been declared that an avocado is technically a fruit. If you're a frequent avocado eater, you know that you need to have good luck if you want to find one that's perfectly ripe. Leave it alone for too long and you'll end up wasting a lot of money for a fruit that seems to be good for only a couple of days. Everyone knows avocados are expensive, but imagine buying the fruit and ending up with something that looks like this. It looks like the pit took over this massive avocado and made it completely inedible. We don't know who we feel more terrible for, this avocado or the person who bought it. What would you do if this happened to you? The internet claims that those avocado pits are actually really healthy for you, but these claims have yet to be supported by researchers. What you can do is coat your avocado halves with lemon and then freeze them to make them last longer. If you ended up with a hard avocado, you could also bake it in the oven for a few minutes to make it ripe. We're crazy about avocado. Don't forget to click that like button and subscribe to our channel.